it's your favorite federal informant coming from vacation. Baby, how y'all doing today, first of all? I will say this. If your name is Jamal White's father, you should be ashamed of yourself. If you guys don't know what happened, Jamal White literally captured everybody's heart, even mine on vacation. This baby was literally snatched from riding his bike in his front yard. You hear blood curdling, "Daddy! Daddy!" screams. Like literally, it would have broke everybody's heart. There was an Amber Alert. The father came up. There were a lot of people saying, how could you let your son get kidnapped? To which I was being like, okay, this is getting a little ridiculous. And the father came up on Instagram. Let me just set this up for you. Then we're going to get to the video. Came up on Instagram pumping his mess. Literally posted, "Y'all foul as ASL." What that mean? I'm not cool to the hip talk. "Y'all foul ASL, painting them crazy A narratives. Even the police treat me like I'm a bad guy. As long as my baby's straight, all that ever mattered. I still ain't seen my baby face to face. The police locked me up all day Saturday, questioning me, even when I told them everything I knew, all while my baby was still missing. Free top. I don't owe nobody nothing but my baby." And I said, that's right. You be a father. You let him know. Until the surveillance video came out from a different angle. Y'all, why did this fool, he was the target. He was a target and they were running after him. And he got caught on camera leaving his son while two YNs with blickies about to get sticky were running after him. You know what? On top of this, and this is the craziest thing, it's still not over. They have somebody in custody, but guess what? His twin brother is also in custody too. Y'all, let's get into the saga of Jamal White, because who would have thought that a child being, spoiler alert, brought home safe and sound would uncover this much ruckus in the family? Anyway, y'all, let's get into this. I made a montage. Get into it. Let me know what you think in the comments. I want to know what the family has going on, because this is not normal at all. Anyway, y'all, let me know what you think in the comments. Let's get into this. Really quick, if you're new to the Jamal White saga, I'm going to give you all the pertinent information. Listen to this content creator, okay? Spoiler alert, well, not spoiler alert, God bless, he has been found safe and sound, but you got to hear the backstory. So when you see that shocking video of the dad running, you know what's going on.
That little boy, Jamal White, who just got kidnapped in Milwaukee, was not outside playing on his bike unsupervised. If y'all are going to talk about the case, please at least be factual with your information, and don't always be so quick to throw heavy criticism at parents in a time of grief and panic when you don't even 100% know what you were talking about.
Again, this content creator's comments age like milk, because everybody should have been criticizing the father. Do you know why? Because he wasn't unsupervised. She's only half right. He was out there with his daddy, and his daddy literally knocked him over to get into the house because he was running from some boys that were looking for him, and took his child as a consolation prize. Again, the child has been found together, but y'all, sometimes when there's smoke, there's fire. And I get, well, you know what? Let me get off my pictures box. Listen to the background, and then we'll get into this.
So let's go over the facts of what has happened so far together, okay? An Amber Alert has officially been issued for 7-year-old Jamal White, who was last seen in Milwaukee yesterday on July 11th. According to Milwaukee police, Jamal was last seen yesterday at around 7 p.m. near 61st and Hustis Street after he was taken at gunpoint and thrown inside of a white Jeep Renegade. The person who is said to have taken Jamal was last seen wearing a black hoodie, a black face mask, and was wielding a handgun. Now, Jamal's aunt went on to tell the news that 4 men, all wearing face masks and wielding handguns, jumped out on not only Jamal, but also Jamal's father and kidnapped him. Jamal and his father had went to a nearby park, and on the way home, Jamal was riding his bike on the sidewalk, and his father was riding in a car on the street beside him. Jamal's father proceeded to pull into the driveway. Jamal was right there with him. The 4 men who were in the white Jeep Renegade down the street backed up, did a U-turn, sped down the street to where Jamal and his father were. They jumped out of the vehicle. They held guns to the dad, held guns to Jamal, grabbed him, threw him inside of the vehicle, and then sped away from the scene.
Now, please remember that part he just said when you watch that video. It's very important you keep it in mind. Okay, let's keep moving.
The aunt went on to tell the news that she feels as though they had plenty of opportunity to do something to her brother had the brother, which is Jamal's father, been the target. But they didn't do anything to the father. They only grabbed Jamal, which leads people to believe that it was actually Jamal who was the target. People believe that the men were specifically there to kidnap Jamal. There was unfortunately no license plate number that was able to be provided, and the only images of the vehicle that the Milwaukee police have are the images of it on their surveillance video footage.
Now remember what the aunt said, okay? Let's continue.
Now, we're going to watch the surveillance video footage together so y'all can finally get off of the topic of him being left unsupervised and we can actually all focus on what really matters, which is finding this child.
Again, she has a good point, but I just have to interject. Part of finding the child is figuring out why. You are right, he wasn't unsupervised, but it was his own GD dad that left him. That's part of solving the case, looking at things that don't make sense. Nothing exists in a vacuum, but you know what? I digress. Okay, we'll get to it.
And warning, the surveillance video footage actually is quite disturbing because you can hear the little boy screaming for his father as he's being kidnapped. So, trigger warning. Okay, so there's Jamal on the bike. You see the silver car? That's the dad. They're riding side by side on the way back home from the park. As you can see right here in the corner, they turn into the driveway. Then we have the white Jeep Renegade. It backs up, it does a U-turn, it speeds up and pulls up on Jamal and his dad. They hop out. You hear the dad scream when he realized they're holding guns to him and his son. Then you hear the son scream. There's the dad. And there's the son. And then you hear them speed away.
And breaking news at 5, new video tonight showing the moment someone kidnapped a Milwaukee boy at gunpoint, sparking a statewide Amber Alert over the weekend. He is safe tonight, but friends and family and police spent nearly 24 hours Friday into Saturday searching for 7-year-old Jamal White. 12 News' Hannah Hilliard is live at the Milwaukee County Jail tonight. And Hannah, police have someone in custody.
Right, Blake, a 25-year-old man is right now in custody here in connection to this abduction, but police tell me he did not act alone. A terrifying abduction caught on camera. Someone sprinting with 7-year-old Jamal White in their arms, putting him into a white Jeep.
I'm glad he's okay, but it's kind of like, I still can't rest because who would do something like this to a 7-year-old?
This new video 12 News obtained Monday shows the Jeep parked on the side of the street Friday night. It starts to move as Jamal is spotted riding his bike on the sidewalk, returning from a nearby park. The boy's aunt says her brother was driving the sedan, following alongside his young son. The camera catching the white Jeep turning around, then later blocking the end of their driveway. 2 people got out of the Jeep simultaneously. One, who appears to be holding a gun, tried following the man into the house. The other chased the little boy down the driveway.
Now, remember what the aunt said? Clearly, Jamal was the target. Maybe, but it looked like they was going after the daddy and ran up on him with that blicky. Things were about to get sticky. And then they took Jamal as a consolation prize because they was what is this family into? But hold on, there's more. There's more. That's just my opinion, but there's more. Hold on.
Seconds later, the suspect comes back into frame with Jamal in his arms, putting him into the Jeep. Do you have answers as to why in the world this happened yet?
We don't have any answers, and I feel like that is what is bothering the family a lot.
Do you think what should be bothering the family a lot is the fact that your brother ran like a coward and left his child outside with men with guns while his son screamed at the top of his lungs? Daddy! Daddy! With his throat cracking? Do you think that's what you might think? No? Okay. Listen, again, I don't know what this family's into, but they knew that Jamal wasn't a target, but they're seeming to play stupid. But I digress. Let's continue.
I feel like a lot of us are unsettled.
Unsettled as family is seen running out of the home. The boy's father spotted slamming his arms on the trunk of his car.
Now, listen, I can make this joke because Jamal is safe and sound, but why is dad, after he ran like a coward and left his baby on the curb, come running out all of a sudden and wants them live? It's like people in high school where it's time to fight. They hide in the locker room. Then as soon as the principal comes, they want to jump out and be like, yeah, you were saying something. Really? Now you got all this gusto, you got all this courage, but when your son was screaming bloody murder, you was hiding under your mama's couch covers. All right, let's keep going.
That was about 7 p.m. Friday night, the state not issuing an Amber Alert until 5 hours later, around midnight.
Let me just say this also. The state is trash too. Because thank God this baby was found in one piece, unharmed. Thank the Lord. However, the state is garbage because they didn't know this. This could have actually been on some weird Diddy-like, I don't know. It just could have been some Jeffrey Dahmer Diddy-like stuff. And the fact that they waited till midnight when a 7-year-old, what was the reason? But maybe there's something the police don't know that way. But even then, why didn't you issue an Amber Alert? That is what Amber Alerts were made for. It seems like everybody in this situation, from his family to the cops, was acting real weird, bordering on trash-like behavior.
Eventually, after a harrowing all-day search on Saturday,
they got him, y'all.
Police recovered the boy in a home near 39th and Lloyd around 6 p.m. Saturday, 7 miles away from home.
Again, this seems like a ransom. It seems like a kidnapping. It don't seem like some Jeffrey Dahmer Diddy-like stuff. They knew the father. They ran up on him. The father ran for safety, left him screaming. It seems like they took him to somehow, maybe not the father, but what is that family into? Let's not forget, the twin brother also got arrested, but I digress. We'll get to that later.
We literally cannot thank the community enough, because I genuinely feel like if it wasn't for everybody just caring about this 7-year-old boy, we probably would not have found him.
I don't know. I hope I'm never in the situation that family was to feel what they felt. But it seems like they know who took that boy. And it seems like they weren't very, I don't know. Something's not adding up. And I'm not the only one that thinks so. Listen to this.
Just a terrifying 24 hours. Hannah, police have yet to reveal a motive.
Right, Blake, and same goes for the relationship, if any, between these suspects and Jamal's family. That family does tell me that Jamal is right now with Child Protective Services as this investigation continues for police. They are hoping to reunite with him soon.
Now, hear me out. The state was trashed for waiting 5 hours to put an Amber Alert for a 7-year-old that got snatched on camera. However, I feel the state when they're just like, yeah, we're going to chill in Child Protective Services for a little bit. Go get little Jamal. What you want, baby? Some ice cream? You want some Oreos? You want ice cream Oreos and some sour cream and cheddar chips? Ruffles? Get that baby, and a grape soda, get that baby what he wants. In the meantime, don't let him see his family till we figure out exactly what's going on. Because even the state is looking at his family like, what the hell? What the helly? What the Holly Berry? But let's keep going.
Wait. So let me get this straight. So the 7-year-old Jamal White, who was kidnapped on Saturday, that they found, he was found safely. They've arrested the person who kidnapped him. But his dad, who was held at gunpoint, has a twin brother, and that twin brother has been arrested as well, pending charges. So they're twins, Jamel and Jamal. That's a very common twin name. But anyway, somebody who's related to them had to come online and set the record straight, because a lot of people have been insinuating that because the twin brother was arrested, they must be involved in some way, shape, or form, okay? So one of their relatives says, my uncle Jamal has no connection to the kidnapping of my little cousin or any connection to Corey. Corey is the guy who was arrested, who is said to be the one that kidnapped Jamal White, the 7-year-old boy in Milwaukee, okay? She then goes on to say, and my uncle Jamal Jr.'s dad, has no connection to Corey Williams or the kidnapping. So she said they don't know him, they're not involved. And most importantly, our family doesn't know Corey or why he did this. Now, please stop with all these false accusations and wait until you hear directly from our family or the police, respectfully. Now, this is Corey Williams, the guy who allegedly kidnapped Jamal, okay, and held his father at gunpoint. He was arrested, and Jamal was found very quickly that day after this whole thing went viral. So we'll definitely be on the lookout for what actually happened, because this is all crazy.
I
said it in my last couple of TikToks and I say it again. Jamal White family knew who took that damn baby. Oh, let me not cuss because y'all said that wasn't proper. And a lot of y'all saying I'm doing this for views. Let me clear that up right quick. I only had like 50, 60 followers. So 9 times out of 10, it was only going to be like 3 people that seen it and like 1 person that liked it. So nah, baby, I just was venting to that little 1 person. I swear I didn't think this was going to blow up. But now that I'm getting the views, get Jamal White from the White family. Straight up. A lot of y'all keep screaming the daddy was held at gunpoint and there was another man that was held at gunpoint and they could have took the keys to the car so he couldn't drive after it. Okay, I'll let y'all slide with that. But I'm not going to let y'all slide to think that the parents is not involved. I don't care. And back to why I know this and not why I feel this is because y'all making it seem like the dudes that had the dad and the other dude at gunpoint, they was there for the whole minute. They did that quick. Y'all heard in the video, that was in seconds. So my thing is, I'm not even a parent. Why you didn't run after the car that had you at gunpoint just to see which way they went? Like, as a parent, once they let up off of you and got in that car and drove off, you would have been running just to see like which way they went and calling the police. Let's get on the police call. It was broad daylight. Not even the other man that was involved and the daddy told the police what the suspects was wearing. Nothing at all. Not even a color of a jacket, a sock, a shoe, or nothing. Wow. Goes back to what I said in the beginning. They knew. They took Jamal White as a leverage to manipulate and show the family, whoever they was beefing with, that if they don't get what they need and what they want, they showing them how easy it is to take that baby if they don't get what they want. The auntie on Facebook talking about we not taking no more L's. Yep. Yep. Told me everything I needed to know and told me everything I said was true as hell.
A lot of you have seen the new footage, the new angle of Jamal White's kidnapping in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I'm going to play that for you guys right now, so take a look. So basically we have another angle of Jamal White being followed by that Jeep Renegade on his bike back to his home. And then once we have them back at the house, we have Jamal's father getting out of the car. We have Jamal still on his bike. And as soon as the 2 guys get out of the vehicle, one holds a GUN at Jamal's father and one goes and grabs Jamal Jr. As you can see, Jamal's father runs into the house. Jamal Jr. is taken by the guy that was in the passenger seat and the car drives off. Now, Jamal's father did come out with a post on FB explaining why he decided to run into the house. He said that he thought that he was going to be robbed. He didn't think that they were going to be after his son. So right now we do have confirmation and clarity that there were at least 2 people involved in Jamal White Jr.'s kidnapping, the driver of that white Jeep Renegade and the person that was in the passenger seat. Now, we are being told that one person has been arrested, a 25-year-old by the name of Corey Williams. I'm not seeing any of his information popping up on the Milwaukee County Court's website, though I do continue to refresh. I did find out that the mugshot of this Corey Williams person is older. Like, this isn't a current mugshot, so I don't know if they just used that from the past arrest that he had or what the case is with that. But I'm continuing to refresh, I'm continuing to look into this, and as soon as we have any new information, I'll be sure to let you guys know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
Yeah, I don't know about this one. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Because again, I don't know much, and I don't know those people, and I don't want to be talking about their business, but I do know something. As your favorite federal informant, I know something ain't right.